Hello, my name is Helen Samuel, and this is Market Outlook for 13th to 15th of June 2022. On Monday, the Bank of Japan will release their business survey index result. It was previously at -7.6. As long as it remains below zero, it will indicate pessimism on the part of the investors. But a surprise above zero will indicate optimism. The UK construction month-over-month, previously at 1.7%, has forecast of 0.2%. If the actual is greater than the consensus figure, it will be good for the kobo. The UK trade balance was at -23.9 billion, while that of the non-EU was at -13.8 billion. The UK trade balance was at -23.9 billion, while that of the non-EU was at -13.8 billion. If the actual figure is greater than the consensus figure, the cable will increase in strength. The New Zealand Food Price Index month-over-month had a previous figure of 0.1%. If the actual figure is greater than the consensus figure, it will be good for the kiwi. Tuesday, the Australian House Price Index quarterly report had a previous figure of 4.7% and a consensus figure of 3.9%. The actual figure, when greater than the forecast, is good for the Aussie. The National Australia Bank Business Confidence was previously at 10, while its business survey was previously at 20, where the actual figure is greater than the consensus figure. It will be good for the Aussie. The Japan industrial production month-over-month had a previous figure of -1.3%. If the actual figure is greater than the consensus figure, this will increase the strength of the yen. UK claimants count change was previously at -56.9 thousand, while the forecast is -42.5 thousand. If the actual figure is less than the consensus figure, it will be good for the cable. Still from the UK, the employment change, previously at 83,000, has a forecast figure of 5,000. This is a huge drop expected by the consensus. If the actual figure gives a surprise above the consensus pessimism, it will be good for the cable. There is also pessimism by the consensus on UK's unemployment rate with 3.8%. This is a 0.1% increase from its previous figure of 3.7%. If the actual figure is less than the forecast, it will be good for the cable. The German Harmonized Index of Consumer Price year-over-year, previously at 8.7%, has a forecast of 7.8%. In the same vein, its month-over-month previous figure is 1.1%. If the actual figure is greater than the consensus figure, it will increase the strength of the euro. The German ZU current condition was at -36.5. Its economic sentiment was previously at -34.3 and has consensus figure of 42.0. If the actual figure is greater than the forecast, it will be good for the euro. The Eurozone's economic sentiment was previously at 29.5%. If the actual percentage is greater than that of the consensus, it will be good for the euro. Last week, the Brent crude and the West Texas oil went bullish above $120 per barrel mark. This week, we expect OPEC's monthly reports to give us key developments impacting the oil market supplies and demand. The New Zealand's current account quarterly report for the first quarter was previously at -7.26 billion with a forecast of -6.21 billion. Its year-over-year first quarter was previously at -20.23 billion and a forecast of -19.38 billion. Its first quarter percentage GDP was previously at -5.8% with a forecast of -5.6%. A greater than expected figure will increase the strength of the kiwi. Wednesday, the Chinese fixed asset investment was previously at 6.8% with a forecast of 7.0%. In both cases, if the actual percentage are greater than the consensus figure, it will be good for the yuan. The US core retail sales month-over-month was previously at 0.6% and a forecast of 0.8%. If the consensus figure is greater than the forecast, it will be good for the greenback. We expect high volatility during the FOMC press conference. We expect projections for inflation and economic growth. Traders are advised to take note. For the New Zealand's first quarter GDP, the consensus projecting higher than previous figures. However, if the actual is greater than the forecast, it will be good for the kiwi strength.